We all have our own stories as to how tough it has been to get through a pandemic now entering its third year.
But what about lawmakers having to make decisions for an entire state?
Well, joining us this morning is Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear. Good morning, Governor.
Good morning.
Well, Governor, I want to start with this because I'm sure when you were elected, you never thought you'd have to navigate the Commonwealth through a pandemic. How hard was it for you with such uncertainty in the beginning stages of the virus?
It was hard, but it's also been hard on every family across Kentucky. Many of the things that I would go through in my decision-making process were what every other family faced. We didn't know anything about this virus. We didn't know how to treat it when people got sick. We didn't have enough testing or enough PPE to protect people. So in each day, we'd learn a little bit more about the virus, but every day we were having to make battlefield decisions. This has been a war. It's killed 14,000 plus Kentuckians, more than any 3 wars we've been in put together. So each day we were making the best decisions to protect our families as we could possibly make. And from the beginning, that's where we decided we would err, with protecting our people and not being worried about personal popularity or the difficulty of those decisions, just trying to make the very best one that we could.
And like you mentioned, you had to make a lot of decisions every day. So what type of advice did you receive when it came to mask policies and how restaurants were to operate?
Well, first, our Kentucky Department for Public Health, as well as our local health departments, have done a phenomenal job. They would be, just like I would, speaking directly with the president and the vice president's team. That included both President Trump and President Biden. Most all of our policies early on were suggested by the Trump administration, backed up by the CDC, and they were all in agreement about the direction that we needed to go, even the most difficult of decisions. At the same time, we had a working group with the heads of all of our major hospital systems, as well as other healthcare leaders that were providing advice in real time. So we had a lot of people out there throughout Kentucky that were on the front lines of fighting this, and they were giving us real-time information, as well as the top scientists, both nationally and at the state level. And it's hard now to put ourselves back in the beginning. In the beginning, a virus that none of us have ever seen before, that went through New York like wildfire, killing more people than 9/11 in just a couple of weeks. We had tents up in Central Park and the federal ship having to come in because so many people were really, really sick that there weren't enough healthcare professionals for them. We needed to buy time. And that was time to learn about the virus, to build up our testing network, and ultimately to learn enough about how to treat it and to buy time to get enough PPE in. And so a lot of the early decisions were based on the fact that we needed more time to better protect people, and to do that, we really had to err on the side of safety. When it comes to restaurants or any other area, it was really the virus that makes these decisions for us, right? It's not fair to restaurants that this virus transmits in places where people have their masks off, where they're sitting close together, where there's a big room full of people, and where there are a lot of surfaces that everybody touches. But that's how this virus chose to ultimately propagate and spread. So no question, restaurants have had to sacrifice a lot, but I do see them coming out on the other side. Certainly we're trying to do things to help, like a temporary lowering of the sales tax, and we want to work with them to get everybody back on their feet and moving forward.
Hey, Governor, the last question we have for you, just during your daily briefings, especially there in the beginning, you could really see just how emotional you were. What made you feel so close to the residents of Kentucky during these briefings?
Well, these are our people. I mean, this is where I am from. One of the first major outbreaks was in Hopkins County and in around Dawson Springs, which is where my dad grew up and where I would go spend Christmases with my grandparents and extended family. We lost some people early, like Lillian Press, who helped put together KET for this Commonwealth and had been a wonderful friend to me. But, when leading through something like this, you got to turn it all almost upside down and break every rule they teach you when you come into politics or public service. People were scared, and they needed to see that I was worried too. I think people had a lot of raw emotions, and so they needed to see that I felt them too. I was a parent going through distance learning just like everybody else. And I think that hopefully helped people see we would make it through, that it's hard on everybody, but that together we could do amazing things. And together we have. We had to build out in Kentucky our testing network on our own. And we've built one of the most sophisticated, large-scale, but flexible networks that this world has ever seen. We had to put our vaccination distribution plan into play here in Kentucky, and have built one of the largest vaccine networks where we have vaccinated more people in just 1 year than ever before in human history. We now have enough PPE to where everybody can choose the type of mask they want to wear and when they want to wear it. And we got here losing fewer people than anyone ever predicted, because we're good people that love about and care about each other. Now, I don't look at these things as me being governor. I'm a Kentuckian struggling with my family just like everybody else. And I love the people of this state. And us facing this thing has been hard, just like ice storms and flooding and horrible tornadoes. But we're going to make it through each and every one of them, because we're tough people that open our hearts and our homes to one another. And that's how we stand up against anything that may knock us down, but never knocks us out.
Well, thank you very much, Governor. It's great to hear your perspective and thoughts, and as you guys continue to rebuild through this pandemic, and as well as the natural disasters that have hit the area recently. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.